Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at a Joy Toy item from their Warhammer 40K line. We've got the Adeptus Mechanicus Kastelan Robot. Welcome to the party, pal! Alright guys, so let's quickly look at the box here. This is about a 10-inch tall box. It does have the Warhammer 40K logo, Joy Toy, Adeptus Mechanicus. This is the Kastelan Robot with Heavy Phosphor Blaster. Contains one 24-centimeter collector's action figure with accessories. Pretty standard box. I do have several of the Tau Empire Warhammer 40K. I think they're called, I forget now, they're suits though. But I have been very selective with the Warhammer 40K stuff that I buy. I did build a small army of the Tau Empire, and I do have 4 of the Adeptus Mechanicus foot soldiers. So this is going to fit right in. I'm not big on the 40K stuff, but when I see something that looks really cool, really awesome, then I do pick it up. Now they do have another one of these, but it has a blowtorch here at the top. I think it's a blowtorch. I chose the one that had more of this sort of machine gun, laser machine gun here at the top. You can see it does look like it comes with a hose. Looks like a chest armor or plate might be removable, and another small piece there. I'm not sure what that is. And here he is, front, back, and a close-up. So that is the box. Let's get it open. All right, so here is the Kastelan Robot out of packaging, and he's pretty nice. He's bigger, even bigger than I thought, even though I had that big box in front of me. Got him out, and he does look even bigger than I thought. First impressions, it's a lot of plastic. He's fun. I've only had him out for a few minutes, kind of trying to get a grasp of his articulation and some of the accessories that they mentioned. Let me show you what we've got here. So there is a chest plate here, and you can see has the emblem here on the front. It does just kind of click right in. It's a little loose. It doesn't snap in quite like I like. There is these sort of computer underneath. You bring it a little bit closer, and you can see there that there's sort of these I don't even know what you call them, tapes almost. And this gold one does come out. You can see it moving there. My fingers are a little bit too big to get it out, so I did have to get some tweezers to kind of to pull it out. And you can see there it does have some sculpting on it, and it slides right in there. I guess technically it could slide into either one because there are 2 slots there. I did not see a second one in package. So I guess there is an open slot there. I could be wrong, but unless it fell when I opened it, I did not see a second tape. So that's what I'm going to call that. But here is the face, or the armor plate. You can see it kind of just goes on. It's not on, you know, the tightest or anything though. And I don't feel like it's going to just fall off. But if you bump it, it will. So I wish that was a little more secure. If a kid has this and plays with this, I'm sure that's going to get lost quite quickly. Whereas that tape in there is not going to budge. It's in there pretty well. He also came with the big gun that goes on his shoulder. You can see it's really well painted. Got some venting here. Some bullets. It's not quite a drilled barrel, but it is open. You see a lot of, got some black, the sort of burgundy red, some silver. It's not bad. Ammo can here on the side. It does just go right on over the shoulder here. It is grooved a certain way. Feels like it's gonna, doesn't quite go, whoops, and see there's that plate falling off. It doesn't quite go on the way that I had wanted. It feels like it's going to snap if I go too far, but that is it on the top. See if I can raise the camera just a little bit so you can see, but it kind of looks like it's shooting up. On the box, it looks a little more straight, and it does go down. It does come up, so you can kind of have it resting to the back. And then there's this hose here, and this hose connects. I guess it could connect on either one of the back of these thigh armor. Whoops, and there goes that plate again. It can go on either one of these. Let's put it on this one, though. It looks like it work a little bit better. But yeah, this plate just wants to kind of fall off if you're handling this guy. I noticed too also that the clips or the magazines do come off. There's like a big bullet in there, and that's on both arms. Let's go over the articulation a little bit here. Pretty, well, I won't say standard because it's got some good points, but then it also feels like it's missing a couple things. So the head does turn. I'm not sure because I don't know Warhammer lore. I don't know if there's someone in here or it is a robot, a total robot, or like a cyborg. I guess there's no one in there, but this does turn. You know, no up and down or anything. It's not on a ball joint. It's just a swivel. It does have ball hinged shoulders, and these shoulder pauldrons do not get in the way. They do articulate too. You can move them. There's a bicep swivel, a hinged elbow, and obviously there's no hands here, but there's a forearm sort of swivel. But you've got to adjust it just right because this is sculpted, so it won't turn all the way around because of that hose there and that armor at the top. So there you go. So it won't go a full 360 without hitting, but it does still twist enough. There are, I want to say there are ball jointed thighs, and I did pop one of the legs off already, but they're not ball joints like on a regular 1/18" figure. You don't get any out. That's as far as out as they go, and they go in. You get it up and down, and that's pretty much it. There is no thigh cut. There's a single hinged knee. There is a ankle, but it's up and down. There's no rocker or pivot in there that I can tell. Oh, there it goes. It was real stiff, so there is a pivot. And it looks like there might even be a toe articulation right there. But I haven't been able to get it to bend, and I'm just afraid I'm going to break it if I do. And I missed this. There is also a thigh or a waist swivel, and it might be on the slightest ball joint, but you can see there's really nothing. There's no crunch there. It does go back and forth though. So it's got a lot of articulation, but it's not quite as good as a normal figure. Now, the paint job is great, but it is also missing a few minor things here. I don't know how well it's coming up on the camera, but the paint here on the shoulders and even here on the crotch piece, it's not quite as shaded or weathered as the rest of the suit or the rest of the armor, like here on the knees. I think you can see it shows pretty well. And the edging here, the metal edging, they did really well. But there's just a couple little spots where it looks like it's brand new. Did a really good job here on the back, on the legs. All these pipes, coils. Got some kind of it looks like a warning sign there. There's a skull. There's a bit like a cog wheel here on the shoulder. Lots of rivets. It's really well sculpted, and I think the paint job for the most part is really good. It is really good. You can just take that out and you can put it in this one if you want. That hose, it is removable, as I showed earlier. This is probably the biggest problem for me, is that this thing wants to keep coming off. And you could probably just glue it on, but you know, then you would lose the ability to look in there and pull that card or that cassette out. Overall, he's pretty good. It does feel too like the arms and the legs, they feel a bit hollow, and the chest, you know, all the weight is in his chest. This thing feels solid up here, but the arms and the legs do feel a bit hollow. But there's no problem standing this guy. Like I said, he's pretty heavy, but most of that weight is just all right here, all right there. And then you've got the gun here. I just can't seem to get the gun to go completely straight. And there's that guy popping off again. This is probably the biggest issue I have with this guy. It just doesn't snap in. You can see here's the back. It just doesn't snap in like I feel like it should. It shouldn't come off that easy. All right, so we've got this guy out. We looked at his paint, his articulation. I bumped that thing off one more time. Let's do a quick size comparison to give you a sense of scale. Okay, and now for a quick size comparison, here is a Joy Toy, a regular Joy Toy figure. This is the Bo Yang Fang, one of my favorites. We've got the Boss Fight Studio Phantom figure that I did a video on here on the channel. The Star Wars Vintage Collection Darth Revan. He is a 375-inch figure. And I've got the Toys Alliance Acid Rain Annex 2179 Anubis here, and he is quite big, tall, I should say, for a 118-inch figure. And you can see he doesn't even really come to the top of the waist of this big robot. And just because I have a few here, let me show you. I've got a McFarlane DC Black Adam figure, and he is a 7-inch figure. I've got a Black Series Dark Trooper. This is a Credit Collection Dark Trooper. He's a 6-inch figure. And here is a Marvel Legends 6-inch Titanium Man. And you can see, if I can get him in the shot, he's also 6-inch. These guys are, they're dwarfed by this big guy. So I think this guy is pretty versatile. I can see a 7-inch figure or a 6-inch figure, you know, battling this guy out. He works at both scales. So if that's something you're into, it's available. It's possible with this robot. But he works well with all the scales, I think, because he is oversized. I don't think, though, that he is quite as good or articulated as the Tau Empire suits that I've got. If you want to take a look at them, they are in my an army build video I did. I'll leave a link to it here. But I have two different Tau Empire guys that are about the same size as this, but they're painted just as well. They're just as big, but they're more articulated, and I think you get more out of them. Now, I still think I can recommend this guy. He is really good, and you can see how you could use him with other scales. Great paint job, a lot of plastic. I am glad, though, that I picked him up at a discount. I'm not sure at full price that I would do it again, but I did shave off a couple bucks using some of the credit that I had at Locker Toys. But otherwise, he is pretty good. He is pretty good. I think the biggest flaw is this piece that, just wants to fall off. I don't think I'll go as far as gluing it in, though. But it is a bit disappointing in a figure of this cost and premium. It is a premium figure from a premium line, that it has that kind of a very simple flaw, I guess you can call it a flaw. But I do think I can recommend him, but just take it with the caveat that he's not as articulated as some of the other Warhammer 40K big guys like this at this scale. And otherwise, you know, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He really shines with the paint and the sculpt, even if a couple spots here and there aren't quite as weathered as the rest. That's not quite as noticeable. Easily hidden in some photography. But that is the video, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to shoot a few photos on the way out. I hope you'll stick around and take a look at those. I'll catch you next time. Bye.